These are my top 10 things to do in Kuala Lumpur. So as you probably know, Kuala Lumpur is a mega metropolis located in the country of Malaysia. You like those alliterations with those M I had? But anyway, that is why for number one, I really recommend you visit Bukit Bintang. Now Bukit Bintang is for me what feels like the city center of Kuala Lumpur. It's where everything's going on. It's where you're gonna see the most lights. You're gonna see the most commotion. It's where it feels most modern and futuristic. You're gonna see lots of TVs here. You're gonna see lots of fountains. And most importantly, you're gonna be surrounded by countless shopping malls, because that's one thing Kuala Lumpur has in abundance is shopping malls and shopping centers such as Pavilion and others that you can find located in Bukit Bintang. So explore this area, get acquainted with, the amazing vibes and modern atmosphere that Kuala Lumpur provides. You can see this little train going by next to you, and you can just really feel like you are in the center and heart of a thriving metropolis mega city that Kuala Lumpur certainly is. Now, number two, we're jumping right into food because that's something that Malaysia is famous for and has great pride in, which is to eat its national food, Nasi Lemak. Now, in case you haven't heard of it, Nasi Lemak is essentially like coconut rice, and it's milk, or it's rice that's cooked in coconut milk, and it's extremely fragrant. It has other things added into it too, like pandan leaves, and then it's served alongside many sides, one of which is always there, or should always be there, which is sambal, which is like a Malaysian or Southeast Asian chili that's really delicious and adds that flavor and spice and heat that people in Southeast Asia really enjoy. Also, it's usually served alongside peanuts, maybe some cucumbers, or some other variety of sides and choices. I'm vegan, so that was really nice for me, and it was so delicious. Such an amazing and versatile dish that I just had to try when visiting Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur, and I really recommend everybody out there try Nasi Lemak as much as possible. Other foods as well too, but you definitely have to try the national dish when visiting Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Sorry, Willie. It's too beautiful. So number three on this list is probably the most visited and popular tourist attraction in Kuala Lumpur and all of Malaysia, I think, which is the Batu Caves. Now, I'm sure you've seen pictures or videos of these somewhere if you're planning any sort of visit to Malaysia, but these are incredibly beautiful and popular for good reason. Now, what are the Batu Caves? They are a series of Hindu temples that are located inside these massive and beautiful, jaw-droppingly gorgeous limestone mountains, which you can visit just about 20 minutes outside of Kuala Lumpur. Hi everybody, we're here at the Batu Caves, one of the number one most popular things to do and see and do in Kuala Lumpur. And this is actually a massive Hindu temple with these really beautiful, colorful stairs leading up to the actual caves and temple. And there's a massive golden statue over there. Now, in front of these limestone mountains, you will actually see something that is probably even more jaw-dropping, which is an 146 feet tall statue of Lord Murugan, who is a deity or kind of like a god in the Hindu belief and religion, because of course we're visiting a Hindu temple. But to actually get to the Hindu temple, you have to go past the statue and up these beautiful, colorful 272 steps, which sounds a little bit daunting, but don't worry, because you'll have some company, of course be accompanied by, the local Malaysians. Local Malaysian macaques, that is, macaque monkeys, because there are countless of these naughty, cute little monkeys that can be found up and down these stairs, really because people will feed the monkeys and they'll come down from like the mountain and like sort of foresty areas of the limestone to come and get their treats. And they are a little naughty. They're not as bad as other monkeys I've come across, but they're really cute. And for me, this was a really cool experience in of itself because I've never seen monkeys in the wild until I went to Malaysia at the Batu Caves. So finally, we finished all these stairs. We even saw a little baby monkey on the way, which was super cute. But now we're gonna enter the actual caves themselves after climbing all these beautiful multicolored stairs. So far, loving the Batu Caves, everybody. Animal, nature, culture. What else can you ask for? So climb up the steps, explore more into the actual Hindu temples located in the limestone caves. It's a really unique, beautiful, cultural, religious, and tourist attraction that has a mixture of that kind of exotic feeling, the natural beauty, the culture, the wildlife. It has everything you'd want all put together. So is it worth the hype? Absolutely. Don't miss the Batu Caves, everybody. So those were the Batu Caves, everybody. Vanessa, what was your impression? Did you like them?
Lots of monkeys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but they're very colorful and pretty.
Yeah, the monkeys were very colorful and pretty. So number 4, we're heading back more into the heart of Kuala Lumpur, checking out the city side, where we're going to visit Chinatown, or Jalan Petaling Street. I think it's called, not pedaling, petaling. But anyway, Chinatown is one of those must-see areas in Kuala Lumpur, especially this street, because it is kind of like a big long market with some like roof and coverage overhead, but it's a place where you can buy many goods, many of which are fake. That's kind of the appeal, to see things and, you know, get a discounted price and maybe buy something fake to show off to your friends back at home. Or if you're like me, definitely a good place to get lots of street food, because there are many vendors here selling things such as tofu fa, or dohua, which is like soybean pudding. It's so delicious, great for breakfast too. You can also get some like mochi and different like Chinese foods and snacks and treats along the way. And it's hustling and bustling, so it's a really cool place to take in the atmosphere and sights here in Chinatown and Kuala Lumpur. Now, if you're a sucker for markets and seeing local vendors, I have another place for you, which is going to be number 5, the Central Market / Jalan Hang Katsuri. Now, this is located right near Chinatown, and it is a big indoor market, the Central Market, with a little outdoor area, which is that street I just told you about, the Jalan Hang Katsuri. And it's a great place to see many vendors selling a wide variety of products. You know, so it's a really good place to absorb the local culture and see what the locals do, see the diversity that is present here in Malaysia, which is absolutely unreal. It's also a great place to do some people watching and to see, you know, like the local sort of goods that are being sold, and to maybe get some souvenirs to bring back home, which is a really cool thing to do as well. It has great atmosphere, great vibes, and definitely gives you a unique outlook and insight on Malaysian culture and goods and all that sort of thing. So it's definitely worthwhile, regardless if you're a shopaholic or just somebody that wants to experience Malaysian culture, which is of course why you're going to Kuala Lumpur in the first place. Unless you have a long layover, but go anyway.
I can't be here.
So for number 6, we're escaping a bit of the concrete jungle that is Kuala Lumpur to visit a real jungle, which is going to be the KL Forest Eco Park. So the KL Forest Eco Park is the only remaining area of the natural tropical rainforest that existed before Kuala Lumpur was built up. Because remember everybody, we're in Southeast Asia, we're in that tropical sort of rainforest climate. All right everybody, so another really cool thing you should do in Kuala Lumpur is go to the Eco Park, because it's like a jungle, literally right in the middle of the city. Right now we're going on this really cool canopy walk where I'm between these jungly trees. Feels like I'm in a canopy itself. You get really cool views of the skyscrapers such as the KL Tower and all that sort of stuff. It's a little hot though, it's muggy, it feels like a jungle, but it's really cool to have a park like this right in the middle of the city to add another layer to the cool city of Kuala Lumpur. So it's cool to be reminded that that is the climate and the natural sort of like flora and plants here, which you can definitely experience at KL Forest Eco Park, because you can walk around the forest but still be surrounded by the massive skyscrapers and buildings that Kuala Lumpur Skyline is famous for. So it gives that really cool juxtaposition and like, you know, contrasting perspective of nature versus city being like all combined together in one area, which is really cool. And also there are these hanging bridges which you can walk through, give some nice photo opportunities. It kind of makes you feel like you're in an adult playground, which is a really fun feeling, to feel young again, which we all strive to do as we get older. Well, that's getting depressing, so let's move on to the next thing.
Don't come here, it's too hot.
It's hot as the 10th chamber of hell.
As hot as Bill and O'Brien.
So cold as fuck.
No.
So if you can't tell by now, I'm a little bit of a sucker for like local food and for markets, so we're gonna combine them together and visit Jalan Alor, which is essentially just a big like street food market where you have tons of little vendors selling many different foods at a relatively reasonable price. It's a little bit more touristy, so the prices are a little bit higher than maybe some of the more off the beaten path street food markets, which I highly recommend you check out if possible. But Jalan Alor is a must visit. So this whole street is filled with vendors. There's lots of lights and sound. It's a great place to just, number one, absorb the atmosphere, and number two, try some more local foods. Here it specializes, I'd say, more in like Chinese or Thai food, but you can try, if you dare, durian, the infamous, you know, king of fruits, they call it, because it has definitely the king of smells, having a very strong and pungent, maybe not so pleasant smell, and a controversial taste. A quintessential food you must try in Singapore, no, in Malaysia, is durian. Now this is beautiful durian, it's a big French fry. No, it's fried durian fruit. Never tried it before, but we're trying the fried version. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Oh my, there's just so much to take in. I've never tried anything like that before. So many different things. I'm not gonna say my interpretation of it. I'll leave it up to you if you try it. But it's very unique. So try it if you dare. I really recommend you do so. It'll be a fun experience. Although I only tried the fried version. But anyway, Jalan Alor, really cool must-see food street. What else can I say? Great vibes, great food, great atmosphere. Definitely gives you a unique feel and take on Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Now for number 8, I had to throw a tower in there because Kuala Lumpur has so many iconic towers, but I chose what I think is the most iconic tower, which is Petronas Twin Towers. Now these used to be the tallest towers in the world, but now they are still the tallest twin towers in the world, standing at 1,483 feet, which is massive. Now what's even more iconic than the height of the Petronas Towers is the design, because the design is actually specifically used to incorporate some Islamic geometric shapes, and here is what they represent. So each different floor is shaped as an 8-pointed star. And if you're Muslim or you practice Islam, maybe you know this, but if you don't, this is really cool to learn about because the 8-pointed star symbolizes unity, harmony, and rationality. And so this building incorporates a large part of Malay culture, as Malays typically practice Islam, which is actually like incorporated in its most iconic tower in Kuala Lumpur, the Petronas Twin Towers. But you really want to take in these views at night, especially from KLCC Park right nearby the towers, where you can actually go to this little pond to see the Symphony Water Show Park at night, which is another cool light show that you can kind of combine with the Petronas Twin Towers, giving you beautiful sights at night here in Kuala Lumpur. So for number 9, if you're basing yourself in Kuala Lumpur and you're not really going to other parts of Malaysia like we did, but you want a little bit of a different taste and to get out a little bit and explore, this is a bit of a day trip, but it's only an hour away. So kind of, I think it counts as something you could do in Kuala Lumpur, which is to take a little day trip to the Genting Highlands. Now the Genting Highlands, like I said, it's only about an hour drive from Kuala Lumpur, and it has lots of different cool things to offer, such as number 1, you take these glass gondolas up the mountain into the highlands, which is a really cool, fun adventure in of itself, but in the process you can stop at this cool series of temples called the Chinsui Cave Temples, which is like a Chinese Buddhist sort of temple grounds, which has a massive Buddha, amazing views of like the highlands and the mountains. You can see these really cool or kind of like grotesque, I would say, like statues depicting what happens if you sin in the Chinese Buddhist religion, and you can see a 9-storied pagoda. For me, this was definitely the highlight of the Genting Highlands. But what many people do is they want to take the gondolas all the way to the top to go to the entertainment sort of district, where you're going to have a massive shopping mall, you're going to have a theme park, you're going to have some like night shows, you can even go to the casino and gamble if you're so inclined to do so, and you can shop and have an ultimate sort of like entertainment here, and also get a little bit of nature in the highlands because you have like those green mountains and the atmosphere is a little bit more cloudy and mysterious, and a little bit chillier too than in Kuala Lumpur. So definitely check out the Genting Highlands if you want a little bit of a different taste in Malaysia, but you're still basing yourself in the city of Kuala Lumpur. And finally, number 10 for KL is get a view of this beautiful city, because Kuala Lumpur has a truly gorgeous skyline filled with iconic towers. Of course, we talked about the Petronas Twin Towers. There's also KL Tower, which is located actually right next to the KL Forest Eco Park, so you could even visit that if you wanted to. You can also see the Merdaka 118, I believe, which is the world's second tallest tower, only behind the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, of course. So that's a really cool thing you can, see pretty much anywhere in the skyline in Kuala Lumpur. So to get a view of the city, there's 2 ways I recommend doing so. One that's probably the most easiest is to find a rooftop bar that has like an open balcony maybe, or open area where you can get a drink or relax, get some food, and then let the sky darken, and then you can see the buildings start to lighten and glow, which will totally make you feel like you're in the metropolis in Southeast Asia that is KL. Now another way to do this, if you're lucky and have connections like I luckily did, because I stayed with my good friend Willie, who I was really happy to host me and show me around Kuala Lumpur. So this isn't just Westerners insight. This is from a local giving me tips and advice as well. But he showed me to an infinity pool located at like a hotel that he had some connection with. But that was a really cool experience to swim in an infinity pool, hundreds of feet maybe above the city with amazing views of everything around you to take it in. All right, everybody, another day here in Kuala Lumpur, but now we are checking out the best infinity pool, I'm convinced, in all of Kuala Lumpur, with an amazing view of the city, including the Kuala Lumpur Tower, the Petronas Towers, and I forget the name of it, it's the second tallest building in the world. It'll be on the screen as well. But even more than that, we can swim with some friends and really enjoy our time here in Malaysia. So I'm gonna jump in the water, looks a bit cold, I don't care, and have a good little infinity pool swim. Let's go.
Don't jump in.
Sorry, hope I didn't splash on So those are two ways that you can possibly get a view of KL, but I definitely, whatever way you can, make sure you're able to get a view from high up and appreciate the gorgeous skyline that Kuala Lumpur, of course, provides. Ah, this is the life, everybody. Definitely a must do to get a really good view of the skyline of Kuala Lumpur. Must do. So those are my top 10 things to do in Kuala Lumpur, everybody. It definitely is a massive city with so many options and things. I think it's really geared for people who like markets and shopping and going to malls, but there's a few different like natural sort of things for you to throw in there and mix things up. And of course, if you're a foodie, I could talk more about Malaysian food, but I at least wanted to throw Nasi Lemak in there for you as a must try. So what do you think, everybody? Am I missing anything terribly obvious? Do you want to do any of these things when you are in Kuala Lumpur? Let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe and follow for more Asia and Southeast Asia, Malaysia travel content coming soon to you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.